Hello friends, I'm dictating transcription number 427, 100 word per minute. Get ready. Start. I support this measure wholeheartedly, and I am especially glad to find that the silk industry, which has received protection for the last 65 years, is being given this concession further. Silk, as you know, sir, is considered by many to be an article of luxury, and they think it is not necessary for a person to wear silk. But we must not forget the fact that the silk industry in India is a cottage industry, and it has to be encouraged in order to give employment to people in the countryside. This industry at present is confined to a few states only where silk can be produced. Valuable work is being done in this regard in the states of Karnataka, Assam, and West Bengal. The state of Kashmir too has a very fine silk industry which could be developed to a great extent, but the misfortune is that the price of cocoon which the state has fixed is not such that it can give any encouragement to the cultivators to take to the cultivation of mulberry in preference to the cultivation of food grains and other cash crops. When I was a member of the Central Silk Board, I had occasion to visit Kashmir to attend one of its meetings of the Standing Committee, and I had a talk with the Director of Sericulture there, as also with the Chief Minister of Jammu and Kashmir, and I, along with other members of the board, tried to impress upon the Chief Minister that it was very essential for the development of the silk industry in Kashmir that the purchase rate of cocoon should be increased by the state, which was a monopolist in its purchase, and he had agreed to look into the matter. I do not know whether any improvement in raising the price has been made during the last 1.5 years or so or not. Some of the finest varieties of silk can be produced in Kashmir. For example, silk of a quality which can be used for parachutes could be made, and during the last war a considerable quantity of silk was produced in the state for that purpose. Unfortunately, now the army is not getting the silk for that purpose from Kashmir to the extent that it needs. At that meeting, when I was in Kashmir, we had a talk with the people. Sir, very valuable work is being done by the Central Silk Board, and the board spares no effort to impress upon the various state governments the desirability of increasing their sericulture industry. In fact, the amount which the central government has placed at the disposal of the Central Silk Board for the industry in the 11th 5-year plan is a very handsome amount of rupees 500 crores, and much can be done in that amount if only the states which have that industry or the possibilities of it could be persuaded to take greater interest in its expansion. The fact is that the Central Silk Board sanctions amounts to the states, but these states are unable to make use of all the funds. On inquiry, it has been found that their main difficulty is that they had not sufficient personnel at present well trained for that kind of work, and consequently it is not possible for them to develop the industry to the extent it is desired. Recently, various institutions for training have been established in the states under the aegis of the Central Silk Board, and people are being trained and they are being sent out. But even then, with the arrangements so far made, it is not possible to get the trained personnel to the extent that is required for development of the industry in the various states. There is one other thing I would like to mention. Some of the states have been wanting for some time past to install spinning mills in their states. For instance, Assam had desired to establishment of a silk spinning mill 2 years ago, and the Central Silk Board had sanctioned the amount also. But when the state pressed its claim before the central government, difficulties of foreign exchange were placed before it, and on account of this, it was not possible for that state to establish a mill. The central government had mentioned to the state that it might make effort with foreign countries to get machinery on a loan basis or on a long term payment basis. But so far, I do not think anything has been done. Then, sir, there are three other states, Bihar, West Bengal, and Kashmir, which pressed their claims to set up spinning mills during the time I was on the standing committee of the board. I thought that it would be useless sanctioning a mill for any one of these states unless the government of India was prepared to spare the foreign exchange for import of machinery. A subcommittee was formed by the Central Silk Board to decide this matter. Stop.